Okay, nerds, this is part two of our lecture over using equipment. So we talked about how to use a camcorder, part one, different formats connected. So let's kind of review that, and then we'll go on to talking about using audio equipment and scanning. So when you record something with a digital camcorder, you are going to make a digital video capture, and there's different formats of that. The most common is a dot move, and a dot move is a QuickTime format. And guys, it can be a really large, beautiful format, but sometimes it can also use a ton of memory. So we're going to talk about other options as well. As there are other options, there's MPEGs or MP4s. Guys, that just means the multiple layers of video, and it's also a QuickTime format, but it's a more compressed format. So here's kind of the way I think about it. I use an MPEG all the time, except when I really want to make something, or if I want to play something like on a projector and I want it to be large and rich and as pixel dense as possible, then I make it into a dot move. And you're going to have options as to what you wish to export or convert your videos into. So just kind of keep that in mind. So audio formats. Of course, the most common type of audio format is an MP3, or also sometimes now called an MP4. Those are the most common universal audio files. But you also will see a WAV or an A file, and those tend to be primarily PC based, and that's an important thing to know. So let's say somebody comes in with a Mac and a family member has recorded a file, and they've recorded it as a WAV file or an A file, and they send it to their relative who has a Mac, and the person can't open it. It's because they don't have the correct type of player for the audio file. And you have to know that's an audio file, and you have to know how to convert it or how to deal with it. And ASCII, that's the most common audio file for an Apple, especially in iTunes now. That's actually, believe it or not, the preference file for like iTunes. You have to change it to be an MP3, believe it or not, because that's a lower quality. And ASCII is a higher quality.
We are a professional microphone company that's built products for consumers, and we like to look at it that way. And some of the products that we're going to talk about, and certainly the one that kicked it all off for us, is our Snowball mic. The Snowball is the first professional USB microphone and the best-selling wired professional USB microphone on the planet right now. We're very proud of this. And there's some incredible features about the Snowball, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I'd like to tell you a quick little story about how we go about doing things at Blue. The good people at Apple sent me over a copy of GarageBand to work with, and my then 9-year-old daughter Julia was playing with the program and doing so wonderful with it. She said, "Dad, how do I get some vocals?" And I said, "Well, you have to use the internal mic that's on the eMac, because that's the computer she had at the time." So after playing around a little bit and not achieving the vocal sound that she was looking for as what we make with our professional Blue mics, my partner and I, Martin Salzbrans, went to work and we developed a microphone circuit and a product. And while thinking about a shape while playing softball one Monday night, in fact, if you look at this, this is a 4-inch round Dudley softball that we measured and brought in, and thus we put our life into our product, and this is what became of the Snowball. Snowball comes with its own stand, its own USB cable. Plug it right into a Mac. It recognizes it right away. No drivers are needed. Just plug it in and go.
Okay, so one of the most common cardio mics is a Snowball. We have multiple Snowballs, and one of the things that are nice about a Mac is that you don't need a driver when you use a USB microphone. And I'm going to show you different forms of external microphones for us to use, but the first one and one of the most common ones we use is a Snowball. And if you look, you actually can set the positions. First position lets you work with speech and vocals. Second position lets you activate like live music, and third position lets you capture multiple vocals, like if you were in a conference room and you wanted to capture the best vocals possible. So why would we want to use an external microphone? Well, guys, trust me, While you look at your device, the audio input device that you have on your computer really doesn't capture audio well. It gets a kind of distortion. And when you get to be really good at listening to the sound that your computer can make, using an external microphone is a must. They're really cheap and affordable. So if you kind of like recording, and I'm going to show you lots of different options, this is something you're really going to want to invest in. You're going to spend between $40 and $60 for an external mic, but it's well worth it. Because what we're doing is we're actually trying to convert something that's analog, and anything that's stored analog, as far as media goes, would be like the hard copy of something. So like a record or a tape or a CD. Those are all analog storage methods. And guys, we're moving away from that. If you notice, your computer does not have an external disk drive. And nor will the future ones. And if you've even watched the new iPhones, they're even doing away with the sound jack for those. Why? Because we're going to Bluetooth. And guys, everything is going to be digital in nature. From you're not going to have VCR and DVD players anymore, because everything is going to stream digitally. So if you pay attention to how that works a little bit, one of the things you're going to learn is that converting things from analog, which is that physical hard copy, to something that's digital is an entire industry now. People will pay you to take their files, their pictures, their music, their memories that are captured in hard copy and convert those to digital, because that's where we are going. Things that are digital. That word comes from the same source as the word digit, which is Latin for finger. And it used to be that people used their fingers to count. And basically what that is strangely enough, anything that's digital is held together with numbers. Actually, binary is made up of ones and zeros. Last thing we're going to talk about as far as equipment goes is how to use a scanner. A really valuable device. And trust me, you're going to be glad you know how to do this, because every year, Mr. Schneider and some of the other freshman English teacher, I think Mr. Myers too, will have you guys write a biography. And one of the things he's going to ask you to do is to scan pictures of yourself. Do not take pictures of pictures. It looks horrible. Learn to use a scanner. And basically, it's how to take a picture with a scanner, and scanner work in many formats. They convert anything that's analog to something that's digital. And we're going to practice learning how to use those too. Did you know that you could actually move a VHS to a DVD, or a DVD to video to DVD? We're going to actually practice that here later. One of the things that I like to know too is that you can do what's called ripping a DVD. That's where you can use software for a Mac, and literally it's free. It's called Handbrake. You can take a DVD player, as long as you have an external DVD drive, and you can make it into something that's digital. And it's a simple solution. You just basically can download it. You go to find Handbrake online. You choose your processor, 32-bit or 16-bit. And you open what's called VLC, which is a program you already have on your computer. And then you allow the source to be read, and you literally press start. It's really simple. So taking care of equipment. See, all that stuff in that cabinet, that's all for our use. And I'm really particular about how it's taken care of. When you get a bag with a camera, and there's always going to be equipment in it. There'll be camera, there might be lenses, there's going to be cords, there's going to be batteries. It is your responsibility to make sure everything that gets in there gets put back into the bag. Note how they're stored. Pay attention to how they're in pockets. Do not wind cords tightly. That's the quickest way for you to really damage equipment, is to wind cords tightly. Cleaning a lens. It's really important that you keep lenses clean with camcorders and cameras. They often can get dusty or smudged, and that will ruin your film. We often use compressed air here. It's not for you to shoot at other people, but I guarantee that you need to keep dust off lenses. And lastly, things to know, guys, this is really expensive equipment. You're really lucky that our school invests in letting you use it. And here's the thing, I'll even let you check it out. Right now, when we work on projects, I will check out equipment to you. It's your responsibility to get it, use it, and get it back to me the very next day. It's the amazing thing about being in Vision Tech is that you get to use all this great stuff, from our microphones to our camcorders to our scanners. I mean, it's all for you to check out and use. And guys, I want you to use it. So we're going to learn how to use it. So when you come back, or when I come back, one of the things I'll do for a fun treat is I'll teach you how to make your own ringtones, how to actually convert things and place things on your phone and use that. So all in all, lecture about equipment. When I come back and after you show off your pictures on block day, we are going to practice using all of this equipment. And for an assessment, you must be able to use this equipment independently on your own. So have a good day, and I will see you soon. Bye.